What has fatherhood taught you that life, couldn't teach you in no other way?
The biggest thing and I tell my two oldest, going back to my kids, is that we kind of grew up together.
What is one sacrifice you had to make?
Well, you know, right off the bat, man, they may not understand that we're willing to give up everything for them.
So, last question for you, Larry. If something were to happen to you, God forbid something happens to you today or tomorrow,
Mhm.
and you want your kids to remember something about you, what's that thing that you want them to remember? All right, family, listen. We're here for another interview. I got my uncle here. I got another uncle here that
All
we're
right.
gonna chop it up and talk a little bit about this fatherhood thing. So, tell the people your name.
My name is Larry Boston,
All
North
right, Larry.
Carolina.
All right. And
Right.
Larry, how many kids you got, man?
I have four and five stepkids and about
Wow.
11 grandkids, one great grandkid,
Oh, you're a great grandfather.
great
Okay.
one great grandkid to be due in October, this
Wow.
October.
Wow. That's like got three,
Yeah,
four generations sitting in there, man.
yeah. It really my this is my second marriage, so like I said, she has five, and what
Right,
she's got a good little set of grandkids on her side too. I'm papa to
right.
all of them.
And that's what it's all about, man. You building out that family, you getting
Yeah,
that generational thing going. Listen,
absolutely.
I absolutely
I
love it.
love.
So what do you do, man? What's your occupation? What's your job?
Well, I just retired
Okay.
last May, 30 years in nursing.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
and,
Okay.
that's to include, I had about a 10 years spread in the military prior to my nursing career.
Gotcha.
Did,
Okay.
did a little everything, man, some construction in there, but 30 years in nursing
30 years.
was career. And I just retired last March.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So listen, this first question is just gonna, kind of get to the heart of, where fatherhood is. So what has fatherhood taught you uh that life couldn't teach you in no other way? What's one thing that fatherhood taught you?
The biggest thing I can do, and I tell my two oldest, going back to my kids, is that we kind of grew up together.
Mm,
Um, Coming up as a young parent, man, they look at you as the role model and the know-it-all.
right.
But hey, we were actually growing up together, and I
Mm,
matured with them,
right.
uh, and they taught me a lot, man. And it comes a time, especially when they start getting to their young teens, and they have great opinions,
Absolutely.
and you know, not always great opinions, but they
Right.
do have some good opinions at times. And
Right.
you got to stop and listen to them, man, because sometimes, man, they're giving you a different view of something you don't know. So one
Mm,
of the big things I gathered out of it is growing up with them.
wow. Wow.
Yeah,
That's huge, man, because I literally say that all the time. Like, we're learning from our kids just as much as they're learning from us. So
yeah,
it's huge that you
yeah.
said that, because I think that if more kids knew that, you build that relationship a whole lot better, which is that
Oh
I
yeah.
think that's phenomenal,
Oh, yeah.
man.
And the mutual respect comes with it as they get older, because sometimes it's hard for us to understand that we transition from parents in control
Right.
to understanding that we're dealing with young adults as well. Um,
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
No, you
So
good.
that mutual growth comes in handy, man, when you understand that, and
Right.
it keeps communication genuine.
Mm. No, I absolutely love that, because you think about how much we want our kids to grow, but they also need to see growth in us too. And if we're learning from them,
Exactly.
then that's part of it, man. I absolutely love that. Um, so along those, like, kind of moving into, what we do as parents, what is one sacrifice you had to make that you don't think your children, quite understand, or, maybe they'll never understand it. Like one of those sacrifices that,
Right.
we make as fathers.
Well, right off the bat, man, they may not understand that we're willing to give up everything for them. You know,
Mm,
we were willing to give it all up for their success.
wow.
Even those times when, kids are going to be, mad at you at times, and we still got a parent, but,
Yeah.
just the willingness to give up any and everything for their success.
Mm,
Uh, you know, like Big Mom and them used to say, man, they always want it better for them than we had it.
right.
I had saltine crackers. I want them to have Ritz crackers.
No, I mean that's real. Heck, is there anything off the top of your head that if you that obviously that you want to share that you felt like something that you had to sacrifice for your kids?
Mine off the top of the head. Yeah, I can go back to where it came a time to having to double up on a bill, or
Mm,
uh, make arrangements on a bill back in the day, especially in their younger days when we
yeah.
wanted to make a beautiful Christmas for them. Uh,
Mm,
they wake up and like to just open presents, man, and
right.
for a while they don't understand who Santa Claus really is, um,
Talk about it.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and you want to see that joy, but for
Right.
that day when they're opening up presents, man, and
Yeah.
you're gonna probably be doing some overtime, you're gonna be talking to some bill collectors. Hey,
Right.
for that day, man, it's worth it, man. It's worth it.
Mm, mm.
When they
That's
come to you and got that new toy, and
right.
you helping them put something together, or you showing it to them and teaching them how to use it,
Right.
properly.
Yeah.
And then it goes into making them understand you got to appreciate this, man.
Right.
These don't come every day. You
They,
know what I'm saying?
and they
And
didn't come
birthdays,
without
man.
sacrifice. Yeah, they didn't come
Yeah,
without some
yeah.
sacrifice. Yeah.
So I don't want to see it laying out in the front yard in the
I know
rain.
that's right. I don't want you kicking it. Don't break it as soon as I put it
Yeah,
together for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are you letting your friend destroy it for you? But yeah, things like
Okay.
that, man. They
Okay.
don't understand how you gotta take from Peter to get to Paul sometimes.
Mm, that true sacrifice. The things that, go unnoticed just to make sure your
Yeah.
kids are happy,
Yeah.
healthy, and all of that good stuff. Wow.
Nah, and you
That's
don't you don't have that conversation with them. You do not
right.
have that conversation with them. It's just
Absolutely.
this is what you do, man. And
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
might ask why you coming home late from work one day, but you still ain't going to tell 'em, you
Nah,
know.
they're not gonna know. Nah, man. That's
That's
great, man, because you know I think sacrifice is a part of it, right? I mean, we're
oh
trying to be, you know, we've been given a gift. Like one of
yeah,
my
yeah,
other fathers said, fatherhood is a gift. So it's like
it
we've been
is.
given a gift, and that gift may not always recognize, what we do for them or what we do for it.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
absolutely love that, man.
Hey, you don't get no pats on the back, man.
No,
It's
no,
something
no. A lot
it's
of things
something
go
that you
unnoticed.
carry inside. You carry it in here
Yeah,
that it's accomplished.
right.
You get your applauses come from accomplishment. You
Yeah,
took care of it. You took care of it. Uh,
absolutely.
yeah.
So how has fatherhood um made you look at your own father? Like, how we sometimes we carry things over, or we, if you didn't have like if some guys, I know some fathers that I've interviewed, they haven't had great relationships with their father, but fatherhood kind of has you thinking about in the past or thinking about maybe how
Right.
you were as a
Right.
child. So how has fatherhood made you see your own father? Listen, family, if you're enjoying these conversations, take a second to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future conversations. Now let's get back to the interview.
Well, I was privileged enough to have a great father that was in my life.
Yeah.
So, and it reflects back to the sacrifice.
Mm,
Quick story. I remember when I was a little bit older, and he and I were in the store together, and I was looking at some sneakers, and I was like, I don't, those are a little too much. And you know what he told me? He
what's that?
said, You didn't think that way when I was buying them. I just wanted them. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I said,
Right.
Daddy, can you get me these?
Yeah.
And not all the time it was a yes, but not all the time it was a no as well. So
Right.
he made things happen for me as well. But that day I was a young soldier in the military at that time, and we were in the PX together, and
Right.
I was getting me some sneakers, and I was making a decision based on price.
Right.
As a kid, we don't make those
We don't think
decisions
about
based
it
on
like that.
price.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
just like, I
hey,
want it. Can you get it for me?
yeah,
Yeah.
can you get it? And that's
Yeah.
one of the things I had put in my kids' life early when they come in and we're in the store and they ask me, "Can I get this?" And I say, "How much it is?" They say, "I don't know." Go find it. Go find somebody who work in here and come back and let me know.
Right.
So, and that was to teach them, communication,
Absolutely.
and to be able to intermingle with people, and as a kid, authority people,
Yep.
and with respect. You got to ask with respect, and come back and let me know how much it is. Don't just come up to me and say, "Can I get this?" and you have no idea how much it costs. Nah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I kind of instilled, tried to put that in their lives, and my stepkids, my youngest two, they're 15, been in their life since they was 4. Uh,
Right.
they, same way,
Yeah.
so where they are at 15 is a lot of the same stuff my kids went through.
Right.
The other ones are a lot older, and,
Yeah.
well, the girl I was with her about 14, but they got a lot of my real parenting as I did with my kids as well.
Absolutely.
Others who were already kind of in the service and stuff.
Right. Right.
But yeah, the
Yeah.
sacrifice, understanding and respecting him for the things he done is what I reflect back on my father, and it's eye opening to understand that you had no idea.
Right.
It's
Right. Until you get
right,
into that kind of
right,
role yourself.
and
Yeah.
yeah, until you stringing up those boots, you had no idea what was going on.
Yeah. Listen, I completely love that, man. And you mentioned something that really made me, I want to ask you this because we talk about fatherhood and, there's this kind of new, um, thought processes about being some might say a bonus father, or some might say a
Right.
stepfather, or some might say, whatever name you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
And it's frowned upon now.
Yeah.
With you having, that dynamic,
Yeah.
have you shown up for your, let's say, quote unquote stepkids? Those are the ones you raised in, you know what I mean? Those are your kids
Right.
that you love and
Right.
just like any other kid. But um how has that shown up, or um how do you let's say feel about
Well,
that kind of dynamic?
very beginning, like I said, even prior to our marriage, and everything, and initial meeting, it's a step,
Yeah.
that you got to think about,
Yeah.
and because you're going to embark upon a new responsibility. But
Yeah.
once you're in the role and you have fatherhood in you,
Right.
it comes out.
It
It
comes
just comes
easy.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes
Yeah.
out. No work. You don't have to think about it.
Right.
You're under the household. You're in this house. You
Right.
coming up under these household rules. You got
Absolutely.
chores. You got responsibilities. Your grades. I'm in it.
Right.
I go to parent teacher conference. I email teachers and like, yo, you got wide open. Call
I'm
me.
on it.
Here's my number. You
Yeah.
know. So I do it in front of them. I let them know I'm wide open with it.
Right.
So once you fall into it
Yep.
and fatherhood is in you
Yep.
and it was passed down to you
Right.
and you see it in you, it comes without ease. It's not
It
even a
comes. It's
second
not
thought.
even a question. Not even a second question. Man, I
It's not even.
absolutely love that, man. Because I even think about that dynamic myself, and I don't know where I would be, without my father raising me. We had that
Right,
dynamic
right,
as well,
yeah,
but I don't know where I would be. So, I personally thank God for, men that
right,
that want to, step in that role. I know it's not easy. I know it's not, let's
right.
say,
Hey,
ideal, but
hey, some men
it's
run.
kind of what you do.
There,
Listen, it
hey,
is.
there's some men out there who run from it.
eh, Talk about it. Just
You
run,
know,
right? Yeah, that's
right?
it.
And on top of that, you look at it like this. I'm still learning. As I said with my kids, I'm learning. I
Absolutely.
learned from them, so I'm still in the learning stages with my stepkids. I
Absolutely.
learn from them every day
Definitely.
too.
Definitely.
I give them a voice.
Right.
If they got a good negotiation on my approach, I tell them all the time, don't let me just jump in your behind for nothing. If I'm wrong, you let me
You got
know.
to say something,
And,
right?
and I'm grown enough to say you're absolutely right. Good
Yeah.
call.
No, man. I listen. I appreciate that because it just speaks to fatherhood as a whole. So
Right.
yeah. So with your kids, man, outside of money, or like that level of or that type of wealth, what do you want your kids to inherit from you outside of money?
The ability to think.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
constantly in their mind about thinking. When decisions are made, making the right decision is the most important thing you can do
Wow.
in life because, of course, as I said, we want them to do better than we did. Of course, I didn't make all the right decisions in my life coming
Right.
up as a young lad, but I really want them to understand the process of thinking and making a decision and not, any fish can flow with the water. You know what I mean? I
Right.
want you to understand you have a mind of your own
Mm.
and be able to, because in today's world, peer pressure is one of the biggest things I find that is difficult for them to deal with.
Yeah.
Uh, but I want them to understand that um, if it's even from the simplest task of my son now taking out the trash and putting the trash bag on, and
Right.
the trash bag slips and falls in the trash can.
Right.
I mean, I'm there to show him what explanation. Like on the back of the trash can, there's two little hooks back there
Right.
that you can put the bag on to
Right.
make it sit there.
Yeah.
That's what I do. That's what
Right.
I do. Make him understand that, and I'm constantly telling him, man, one day you're gonna be head of the household, man.
Mm.
Uh, You will be head of the household, man. You're gonna
Right.
be dependent, and I want them to be prepared to be a head of a household. And with my daughters, I would like for them to see in me what they should require from a man in their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, someone that respects them and take care of them, and
Right.
nobody that's going to bully them.
Yeah.
I got three girls and a son, and
Right.
I got a set of twin boy girls and a step daughter that I raised, and
Right.
she's 25, and I still talk with her a lot about relationship issues. Now she'll call me
Yeah.
uh, about relationship issues, and I try to empower all my girls with the ability to be strong.
Yep.
Um, I'm not a big fan of a stay-at-home wife because we don't know how life is going to take us.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
and being able to take care of yourself, even to the point of drawing Social Security, man. If you ain't got nothing in your Social Security, you ain't got no Social Security.
It's
So
saying
it's
be able to take
important.
care of yourself, right?
Right. It's important that you have and there's a difference between a job and a career. You
That's
know,
true. That's true.
I want them to work on careers,
Gotcha.
and
Gotcha.
so that's one of the biggest things I want to pass on. And my father made sure I understood that.
Right.
Most of my life, I worked two jobs. My father worked two jobs most of his life,
Yeah.
um, and I got that from him. Um, he always said, he got to be able to put some beans on the table.
That's
And
that's you're not
I
wrong.
respect that. I respect that,
Nah. Yeah. Listen, man. I definitely appreciate that because you're talking about having the ability to think. And part of that thinking is how do you take care of yourself? Like what are
Right,
the mechanisms and things that have to happen for you to take care of yourself? So
right.
I absolutely love that, man.
And, and also understanding mistakes will happen, but it's how you react after the mistake.
Yeah,
How you
yeah,
fix it.
definitely.
How you
Definitely. But
fix
how do
it.
you adapt? How do you overcome?
Right,
How do you,
right,
process, what's going on? So yeah, no,
right.
I appreciate that a lot. So, last question for you, Larry.
Okay.
Um, if something were to happen to you, God forbid something happens to you today or tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and you want your kids to remember something about you, what's that thing that you want them to remember?
I love them.
Mm,
I love them. Yeah.
simple
I
as that.
constantly, I tell
No,
them all. I tell them all the time I love them.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I constantly tell them I love them.
And what
I don't there's not one I talk to on the phone and never hang up without saying I love you.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's all I want to leave is I love you.
Just I love
Um,
you. Yeah.
yeah, and they can gather what they, you know, all the things that go around that, because you don't do things like that for anybody, but I
Right.
love them. Yeah,
Wow. Wow.
yeah,
Listen, man, that's put a pin in it right there. Listen,
yeah,
I appreciate you, man. I definitely
yeah.
appreciate you. And
I
listen,
appreciate you.
listen, family. This is another interview in the books. You heard it
Yeah,
from Larry Boston right here, and we appreciate
I
y'all tuning in.
appreciate it.
Like, share, and subscribe because we cannot do this without y'all's support. And continue to stay tuned for the next interviews that we have coming up. All right,
All
y'all.
right.
Peace.
Hey, again, happy birthday, brother. I love you
I
too.
appreciate you, man. Later.
All right.